Throw your cranes up.
Hello, everyone, and good evening. I'm CreepyClownGirl, one of the hosts of Grave Matters. Filia Noctis will be along with us shortly. Hope all of you are having a good evening or morning wherever you are. Welcome to another episode of Grave Matters. I am joined right now currently by Are You Afraid of the Art? Hello, Art.
Hey there. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And our guest, who we will be interviewing today, is the amazingly talented ChronoPasta. Hello, Chrono.
I wouldn't go that far to say talented, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I would. You're pretty amazing.
Exactly. And there's the other host of Grave Matters, the beautiful and talented Filia Noctis.
Woo.
Hi, Filia.
Bringing into base to be safe, huh? I barely made that.
So,
hi, everybody. Welcome to the show.
Well, sis, I
start,
thought before Chrono.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to give a quick shout out to Possessed Radio, who so graciously covered for me last week as co-host. I had, not only was I struck with a horrible migraine, I lost one of my fur babies last Sunday, and Possessed Radio stepped in and covered for me, and I just want to
shout out to you, Possessed Radio.
Thank you.
Good guy. Big round of applause to shout out to Possessed Radio. I'm so sorry to hear about that. I was not aware that you lost one of your fur babies. I'm really sorry to hear that.
That's why the picture of for the Carnival of Horror, the Discord, that is Gato. I thought I would change it in memory of Gato because he is the carnival mascot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lives on forever through the carnival.
The first pet to ever go up in our pets, and yeah, he was there from the start of the carnival. My buddy.
Yes, he was. Well, I thought before Chrono introduced himself, we would see who's in the chat.
Who is over there? Since I literally just got here and have not seen anybody.
We have Christine Baker. Hello, Chris. Thank you for joining us.
My Chris, hello.
We have Gathering of Crows. Hello, Crow. Thank you.
Hi, Crow. Great to see you.
We have Possessed Radio. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome.
We have
I like what he said.
Codex.
Pretty funny. He said he did his best.
Hi, Azazel.
Wait, he said what?
Oh.
What did Possessed Radio say?
Oh, he just said he did his best, impression of you. That's pretty funny. And yes, hey, Azazel, welcome, buddy.
He did his best impression of me. I don't know what I do that's that impressionable. I
can't see Matthew's last name, but hello, Matthew. Thank you for joining us.
Matthew's interviews. Welcome, Matthew.
Matthew's interviews, yes.
Oh, that's Matthew from Matthew's interviews.
Yes. Really looking forward to being interviewed by you on Friday. Tomorrow, don't forget PA Nightmares. And I got this. You told me, Matthew. Matthew, if you want, you can... I forget who the second one is tomorrow, but he's got 2 interviews tomorrow.
We've got Dodge This 82.
Hi, Dodge This 82. Thank you for being here. And we have Patience. Hello, Patience.
Welcome.
Hello,
being here.
Patience.
We have AsTheRavenDreams.
Another Raven. Oh, maybe we're gonna have a Congress or a murder of crows.
Yeah, we're gonna have a murder
Ravens
in the chat room.
Yeah.
Oh no, we won't.
Da, da, da.
All right, everybody, get your bird nest making material out.
Right.
They don't get my
All
shiny
your
thing.
little shinies.
So I guess it means that if we're gonna do like the things that birds do, then if you have children or pets of some kind, I guess you have to feed them like birds do as well, which is pretty gross.
Oh no.
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 So
now,
did we get
now you have
everybody in
my
chat?
interest.
I'm looking. I think we did. If we have any lurkers, be sure to say hi. If anybody's lurking. But I think we got everybody.
Everybody who lurks and everybody in the chat, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Also share it. Get the word out there. Nevermore Collective is a fairly new channel, and it would be nice for you guys to reach to the farthest depth of social media of any kind. Let people know, pass it on, because we'll have a good time, don't we? We want everybody to have a good time, so bring them along.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. This is a social experiment that we have going on here, the Nevermore Collective. It is a platform for people to do live shows. We don't just post videos. We do live shows here, and we're very graciously being hosted tonight by again. I don't know. I don't know who the person behind the Nevermore Collective mask is.
Thank you, AsTheRavenDreams, for hosting us again.
Big shout applause.
And also to Patience behind the scenes as well. Thank you to her.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Oh, and we just got someone, Derringer.
Hi, Derringer. Nice seeing you again.
Wow. My eyes are not working well today.
Well, you just woke up too. So
I know. I literally just woke up. I was napping.
So, Chrono, why don't we start with you? Why don't you tell us a little about who you are and how you got into horror? And
well, I like long walks on the beach and sipping mimosas. And no, well, obviously, I'm a fairly laid-back guy. I don't try to take too much too seriously. So, I mean, I really don't know what to say about me. I'm not all that funny or important, so let's get going.
Okay.
Nonsense.
Okay, well, all right.
Nonsense.
Let's start at the top. Where did the name ChronoPasta come from?
Honestly, I just thought it sounded cool. I know it just kind of sounds lame. I've always kind of had a affinity for like classic video games, so I'm sure a lot of the people will know like Chrono Trigger or a lot of that 8-bit, 16-bit stuff, so that kind of stuck with me. And then pasta because of CreepyPasta, or I also love eating carbs, so
Okay.
yeah.
Not at all where
I like it.
But okay.
That's a good answer.
The combo works.
Why not?
Right.
I think it's cool.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So and you write and narrate?
Yes, I'm actually doing a lot more writing now than before when I started my channel. I'm trying to move more to narrating more of my own stuff nowadays.
Awesome.
Well, I have personally narrated some of your stuff.
Yeah, you have. I think a lot of my short story collections I've let you guys and gave out to you guys. I think that I have a compilation of that still on my channel.
Woohoo!
Okay. I think I can't even remember how many I've done of yours. I know there's at least 2 of your stories on my channel. And
yeah, I think so.
I think a couple. Gosh, now I feel bad because I don't remember how many I've done. But I think I'm in a couple of your compilations too.
Yeah.
I know the one I get the most questions about though is the one. It's called "He Left Me," and everybody's like, "Is it a boy?
Yeah,
is it a dog?"
It was actually that one kind of hits home with me, and I wrote that. That was actually a story based on the perspective of my old husky that I had to go get put down back when I was a kid. So it was like, kind of a homage from his perspective.
Right.
So that was actually, yeah. You did a very good job at that story as well.
Okay. It touched me too. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know
think
what
I
I'm reading.
remember
but
that
it's
story.
sad. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's.
Excuse
It
me.
wasn't meant
think
to be
one of them-
100% horror, like scary, but I didn't also want it to be on the nose that it was a dog. So the mysteriousness of what's happening to this thing was kind of still there.
I'm sorry, when you said dog, I thought of one thing. I'll have the hair off the dog that bit me, Lloyd.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
And I think
This
the
one's
other
on
one.
the house.
He's behind me. It's behind me. He's behind me.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the name of the other story, and I'm feeling. I think it was called "He's Behind Me," or "It's Behind Me." I could, if my
Honestly,
internet will allow, look it up. But yeah, the one that everybody asks about is definitely "He Left Me." It was very emotional.
I
Yeah,
think I remember that one.
that one was probably the story I wrote that hit home the most.
Yeah. Well,
And
thank you
it's
for
not a
letting
very
me read
long
it.
one either. Well, thank you for doing a
it
good job
wasn't.
at
I
it.
think it was like maybe 500 words. But thank you. It's a good one. It's a very good one.
Before I or Art ask the next question, I have a brief shout out and congratulations to Faces of Fear. He just hit 900 subscribers. So
Wow.
congratulations to him.
Wow. Congratulations
Wow,
to you,
that's
Faces of Fear. That's a huge, stepping stone. That's wonderful.
And I believe
and-
42 just had didn't she just hit a milestone herself? Oh,
Yeah,
her birthday,
was
excuse me.
yesterday.
Happy birthday to
Yes.
42.
Very happy birthday to 42.
Yes.
I hope she
Happy
had a
birthday.
wonderful dinner with her hubby. We also have Timmy Duran and Pam Elmore just joined us in the chat.
Hi,
Welcome.
Pam.
Welcome, guys.
Great to have you. Hi, Tim.
Yeah.
Great to have you. Yeah, Pam and I spoke earlier in Raven's coffee stream. Really neat lady.
Cool. That sounds really cool.
Well, it's great to have you guys here. Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank you for your support.
So, Chrono, what would you say is your strongest and weakest aspects when it comes to narrating?
Strongest is my fluidity, I guess. I mean, with all my live streams and live narrations I do, I make minimum mistakes, so saves a lot on editing time. Weakest would probably have to be pacing. I am terrible at pacing myself.
That's a good weak point though, because with that you know it. So knowing is half the battle. First of all, second of all,
Yeah.
with time that can be improved. It's not like something that can't be improved or you're not aware of. I mean, that's a really good downfall, because exactly that, you can improve it. And I'm sure that it's not even close to as bad as you're saying it is. We're all our biggest critics and our worst enemies. So I
No, 100%. 100% for sure.
Yes, I do believe so.
Well, I think it's more so that I also got to think that I'm not just reading this for myself. I'm reading this so other people can also enjoy it. So I've got to put it in a cadence, sort of, to make it pleasing, I suppose. Or at least do my best to do that.
I think originality and being true to yourself and your content is the biggest deal, because in doing so, I feel like people are going to appreciate your own unique style and everything about it, and they're going to be a fan of yours no matter, what you might think that, but there's somebody out there that thinks that it's wonderful and there's nothing wrong with it. And that's a wonderful thing about fandoms.
Yeah.
Do you find it easier to narrate your content as opposed to someone else's content?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think it's way easier because if I mess up my own content, I don't feel bad about it. I can make adjustments that's not 100% what I have written down and be like, oh crap, are they going to know? Are they going to bother listening to this and say, you messed up. That wasn't supposed to be an and, that was supposed to be a were. I'm like, oh crap.
Right.
I have to redo it now or something. So yeah, definitely easier to narrate my own.
Same. I find it easier to narrate my own. One, because if it's a poem, short or long, I have it memorized. So it's like, I got this. Give me somebody else's poem, and I'm like, yeah, you want me to do what again?
Well, I think also if it's your own, you know where you want the emphasis. You know those little nuances of tone that you want to come out.
Right.
And if it's someone else's, you kind of have to guess where they want the emotion to peak and stuff like that.
That's true.
So you don't always get that.
No, you don't.
Except, really, some people are very good at putting that in their writing.
Yeah.
Like the panic of someone being left behind at a medical office.
That is true. It's very much like script reading, I guess you could say. Like actors have to do that. That's when the director comes in and says, like, no, I want you to do it this way. So you kind of have to be your own. You have to have your own. Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, welcome, Kayla. I believe that's Kayla.
Let me look. Yes, it is. Welcome, Kayla, and
hi, Kayla. Thank
welcome,
you.
Mandy.
And Mandy
Mandy's
Mortem.
here too.
Mandy, hi, Mandy.
Thank you
for
both
coming.
for joining and showing your support. And yes, I know it's probably random that I'm here, but
Please.
surprise, here I am.
Also, real quick, thank you to Derringer for the sub. I appreciate it, dude. Thanks.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Derringer. I'm assuming it's Mr. Like just like the famous Derringer.
The gun.
Maybe it's the same guy.
The gun or the guy, right?
You guys know Derringer, right?
Was the guy named after
Dylan
the gun,
Derringer.
or was that his real name?
Dylan Derringer was. I don't know. I think it could have been his nickname. That's a good point, but it's probably. I think it's just a coincidence, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so what exciting things do we have to look forward to?
Hold on real quick. Do you see Derringer's response?
He's got his hand up.
Yeah, he's like me.
Get me over here. That's right, everybody. Let's point out to him. They subscribed. I'll just say they.
No,
Truth or Derringer.
I think he's meaning, yeah. I get what he's saying.
Mandy says, truth
funny.
or Derringer.
Good one, Mandy. All right, go ahead, sis.
Speaking of Mandy, she's going to be interviewed next week on the Traveler's Tavern.
Awesome. Oh, real quick, since we're in... Go ahead, sis.
I was going to say, which just happens to coincide with the fact that I will be releasing a story written by Mandy Mortem next weekend. Isn't that coincidental?
Awesome. I can't, yeah, very coincidental. And
so the story will come right after her interview.
Woo! I'm there. Oh, yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Mandy's an amazing person.
She is. I love her to death.
Also, next Sunday on Grave Matters, well, Cece kind of overbooked, but hey, we will be having Penny Tells Up, Centaur, and Amateur Animator. So
we've got all three of them.
It's a good show.
And it will be
okay.
the
Busy.
announcement.
It will be busy.
Yes. Also letting all of you know ahead of time. Thank you for bringing it up, sis. The show on next Sunday, instead of 7 p.m., it will be 5 p.m. And then on the 2nd, we have Matthew, and the show again will be at 5 p.m. Just letting you all know.
Okay, so for the next 2 weeks, the show is going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes, our time.
West Coast. See, all of y'all are on the East Coast. You always say Eastern time. Those of us that live in the West, it's Pacific time. So, okay, great. Good to know for those of us involved, because some of us oversleep. I can't believe I did that. I even set my alarm and I turned it off and went back to sleep. So, okay. So, Chrono, what do we have to look forward to from you in the near future? Like, say, a big collab or something?
No, I'm actually going to try to steer away from collabs. I'm going to stick to kind of doing the radio drama style show or story I'm making called The House That Jack Built. I'm still creating that and going to get that progressing a little bit more with the storyline. Who has AsTheRavenDreams in there? Has Spooky You, and and I'm also going to be introducing a bunch new characters as the story progresses to try to get as many of you guys and my friends brought in onto the show itself.
Right, that's awesome. I think I'm in episode 2.
Yep.
I think I'm in one of the episodes. I don't know.
CCG, I've got a specific part I want for you. I think you'd be perfect for. I just gotta progress the story enough to get to it.
Awesome.
And another thing I'm working on, I wasn't normally going to say this, but why not? I am making a movie.
Cool.
Possessed Radio just asked about it. Is the story that we're doing going to be related to the movie that you're doing?
No, it is a completely different off-the-wall thing. I'm actually wanting to create an original movie monster/slasher style film, and it's going to be an episodic thing released, kind of like how the old made-for-TV movies were, where you would get 30 to 45 minutes of the story, and then you'd have to wait another week or whatever for the next release. So I'm kind of trying to build onto something like that for YouTube as well. And I think that's more of the direction I'm trying to go, is get more aspects of horror into my channel other than just narrating.
Cool.
That sounds really awesome.
It does.
I would like to welcome Gamma Akutabi and your ex-husband.
Hi, Gamma. Hi, your
Hello,
ex.
welcome both of you.
Thank you for coming.
Your ex made it?
Yep.
Awesome.
Honey, now what did I tell you? What's that GIF I put on the Twitter the other day? Now what do I keep telling you about trying to run away after I untie you? Or why do you keep trying to run away after I untie you? Or something like that.
Oh, no.
Very
Possessed Radio just asked if my story is actually related to the actual movie, the one with Matt Dillon. I know that movie. That's a good movie, but no, it is not. The title is actually a homage to Mr. CreepyPasta. I don't know if you've seen his Tales from the Gas Station.
I love Tales from the Gas Station.
Oh yeah, well Jack. I was trying to take a spin off of that because his main character Jack Townsend is actually kind of my inspiration in creating the house that Jack built. So it's kind of a homage to that.
Oh, awesome!
Awesome. That is cool.
Now I'm even more excited to. I mean, as a character, you get to read like your little part. but you don't get to see the forest because you're just a tree.
Well, I was originally
look
going
forward
to give out the entire script and the entire story to everybody, but I would much rather see the look on your faces as that the story just takes its own like tailspin. So you guys won't even see what it's coming. So you guys get
think
the
you made a
most
good
pure
choice.
reaction to everything.
Yeah, I think it's better this way.
I think so
Because we
too.
get to be. So what I expect everybody to do is I want to see time lapsed reaction videos as people listen to it. I don't know if anybody's put a time lapse reaction video up on TikTok. Kayla, I know you do TikToks, so you're gonna have to do that. We're gonna see a time lapse of it. I don't know how to do it, but Kayla does that, so she can figure that out. Time lapse on how to do that. I think that would be funny too. But yeah, that's a better way to do it. Make us work for it. Okay. So who's got the next question?
Actually, I do. Chrono, with where your channel was and where it is now, I think we kind of touched on it a little, but where do you want to see your channel going, and what do you want to see for your channel?
Honestly, I don't see my channel growing as much as everybody would anticipate it to be. I'm not really into the YouTube to make it huge. I'm using YouTube more as a platform to network with many different creators to get into film and every aspect of horror. So then I can try to channel that to my channel. Play on words there. And then I really want to use my channel as generously as possible. I guess that makes sense, kind of, and just use it to give things away, give people money, give away whatever I have coming to me, because
I think we did.
Oh, I thought I just got lost. I'm like, oh no. I just got dumped by Discord.
Yeah, I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties with the service.
The server is, yes.
Yeah.
Does somebody want to send him a message and let him know we lost him? Okay. So, until Chrono returns, how is everyone's evening going?
Well,
Lovely evening wherever everybody is. Is it warm spring weather, or is it still lingering winter? Is it rain? Is it snow? Sunshine?
well, I'm in the high deserts of Arizona, and it's a little windy and a little bit cool, which,
Good combo.
you know, it's Arizona spring weather. If there's no wind, it's hot, and with the wind, it's a little bit cool.
Well, right now here in where I'm at in Arizona, the wind's blowing. It's really nice out. I really like it.
Yeah.
Speaking of weather, I've got an interesting take. Certain times of the year, they invoke feelings and emotions, and that's how we get that holiday spirit of whatever holiday it is. When it comes to horror, and everybody thinks Halloween, what do you think is the creepiest setting or atmosphere for a horror setup? Like, do you feel more in the horror mood when it's hot and stuffy? Do you feel more horror mood when it's like cool, breezy, chilly? What is your take on that? Does the weather affect your mood or affect your feeling on horror?
Oh, autumn. I think it's autumn.
Autumn.
It's
autumn's
Halloween
definitely the pinnacle of of what you expect horror to be.
Welcome back, Chrono.
Yes, welcome back.
I'm back.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but I think really, because you wouldn't get stuff like Friday the 13th if it was based in like the Bahamas or something, right? You wouldn't be scared of Jason if he was in a freaking Hawaiian shirt,
Like a
and
Hawaiian
a
shirt and
freaking
swimming
straw
trunks.
hat.
Right.
Instead of a machete, he was having a mojito or something, you know? Like,
Yeah, mojito, yum. That's what he said.
now it's just some disfigured tourist, whatever.
Disfigured. Oh no, he's on vacation.
So, I mean,
Leave him
I
alone.
think
He's on
the
vacation.
settings have a place based off of what you're going to watch. So if it's summertime, I want to watch Jaws or something, because that's
Right.
going to that has more of that vibe. I guess.
I agree. I get
Or
that.
Anaconda.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot about that movie. Another good one
Big
is
classic.
Zombie.
Oh,
I don't know how many of
zombies,
you have seen
100%.
Zombie, but yeah, Zombie takes place on tropical Caribbean islands,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's just absolutely
Nothing
hot.
like a good old dead body rotting in the middle of the.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
There's
Let's
another
just
movie,
speed it up. Let's just
precursor
speed it
to
up.
Zombie.
Yeah, but
what
gooey
is,
corpses.
It's not Lair of the White Worm. It's Jesus. It was actually based on a real story about a scientist that went
heard of that
down to
movie.
like Jamaica or Haiti. I think it was Haiti, and was trying to learn about zombie powder. And got more than he expected. And of course, I can't remember the name of it now.
Is that the one deals
like
with
an
like
80
voodoo zombies?
I know it. Oh wait,
Right,
is that
right. It's like a 70s or 80s movie.
I know which one you're
the only
talking about.
movie I
Serpent in
can
the
think
Rainbow.
of?
Serpent in the Rainbow, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna
is
say
what
the
it
only
is.
movie I
That's
can
what
think
it
of
is.
is Serpent in the
There you
Rainbow
go.
with Bill Pullman,
Yeah.
and that movie was excellent.
Yeah.
He did
Excellent
very
movie.
yeah, he
Excellent.
did very good. Yeah, I'm a fan of his for sure.
Yeah. And that was obviously a very tropical movie too, and I don't know if it was necessarily a winter tropical or a summer tropical, but it was tropical. If that makes
If we're gonna have a zombie apocalypse, whatever, I'm making the announcement and I'm declaring this right now. It better not be in a hot, muggy place, because I'm gonna have a problem.
Like, just kill me now. I don't want to deal with this.
I'm done. I'm done.
right. It
Well,
would be
what is
better to
that?
have.
What
Your
kind of
rotting
zombies are we
butt.
gonna get?
Would it be better to
Huh?
have
If you
it
think-
in like
what-
Barrows, Alaska?
Well, yeah, because then maybe they'll be a little slower because they're freezing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rigor,
Well, I mean-
it'd be much harder.
Yeah,
On the movie.
but I mean,
we'll
what
just-
kind of zombies are you gonna get? Are you gonna get the Night of the Living Dead zombies, or are you gonna get 28 Days Later zombies?
I guess it really
Whatever
I'm
zombie
hoping
it
for
is,
slow
they
zombies.
They still stink.
I want
Yeah, you
slow
got that.
zombies.
Yes, slow zombies. I
I
want
mean,
slow
technically
zombies.
speaking, like if you really want to get down to it, like 28 Days Later and like the Running Zombies, like the Dawn of the Dead remake, they're not technically. I mean, they're dead in the Dawn of the Dead remake because they're reanimated that way. But if you when you die, you get rigor mortis, and I don't think there's a coming back from that. So it's like, you either are there's the infected and then there's the zombies. So I'm guessing like 28 Days Later is that virus that. I guess it kills, but it also it doesn't reanimate, but it I guess consumes you. It's really complex matter.
Rigor doesn't last very long. It
Okay.
within like 24 hours of death, rigor's already come and gone.
Wow. Did you know, I saw this about 2 or 3 years ago. It actually creeped me out. It was actually caught on video. So, picture a normal neighborhood setting, and then you see, oh Lord, and then you see, I think it was either a lion or a tiger. I think it was a tiger. Big tiger I'm like, it should not be this big. This tiger, standing, its ears went over the top of the car. Um, Tigers are not that huge, but when it turned around, yeah, I know there's lighting, cat's eyes. No, this cat, when I say zombie, there's a show called Zombie Cats, and oh, no, 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 no. And you could just tell that there was something wrong with this cat. It was definitely zombified because, And then there was this guy, they were out hunting, and they shot and killed a deer. So they thought, until they got up there on it, and then the deer just lifted half of its body up and made this weird sound and then flopped back down on the ground.
Oh.
It is odd.
Yep. Very odd. So
from the chat from Kayla, she says her husband Sam is listening, and he says the weather definitely matters, both in the movies and the weather around the person watching.
Well, I highly agree with Sam. I do.
I do too.
I highly agree
and
with
then
Sam.
she laughs and says, "Yeah, Sam's really listening." So, hi Sam, and thanks for listening.
Hi Sam.
Yes,
we don't
welcome.
get Sam listening
I
very
believe
often.
so. I think really.
We don't. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, when it comes to weather, and like what we mentioned autumn, I think that's a whole topic. I know at least I could go into for a whole video sometime, because I always had this strong belief as a kid. I'll just summarize that I always did know something was often different about the months of middle end of September all the way until the end of November, or end of October anyway. And then I did find out about that's why the pagans celebrated Samhain, was because it was indeed the barriers were the thinnest between living and dead, and you just feel like it's heavier and heavier, the air does. And I feel like the cooler air, it's almost like it makes its way around it easier. I don't know what it is, but during the fall time, if you're somewhere near cool, crisp, windy woods, it's a lot. You definitely feel a difference between that and being in a hot, humid place.
You do.
So that's just my take on it.
Right. So if anyone in the chat has a question for Chrono, let's see your questions. And does anyone, Filia, Art, do you have any more questions for Chrono? Chrono, is there anything that you would like to discuss? Come on in.
Yes, I have questions.
Okay.
I was just going to ask him, what you said you want to branch out and you want to do different contents of horror, which is wonderful. What is the main thing that inspires you with horror? What makes you love horror?
Good question.
It's the most primal instinct a human has is fear.
Mm-hmm.
People make every decision based off of a fear, whether it's the fear of lacking money so you get a job, fear of being alone, the fear of so there's all these primal feelings that go into it, and I think horror kind of brings out that purest fear of the unknown in itself. So to bring that, I guess, have to show my take on that is kind of where I'm more so into why I love horror so much. I don't know if that really explains it very well, but
it does.
Yes,
it's
it does.
the mystery of it, and
it's-
it intrigues you.
Yeah.
exactly. It's because Quentin Tarantino's horror take on stuff and super bloody, action filled, whatever, and all the practical effects, that's great. But then when you get to the underlying emotions of it, like I don't think it's a actual Quentin Tarantino movie. It's Robert Rodriguez, but it's From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of, you got Tom Savini in it, Quentin Tarantino, George Clooney, Robert Trejo. or Danny Trejo. Sorry.
Yeah, you gotta love him. I
thinking
love Danny
Robert
Trejo.
Oh, dude. Yeah. But I mean
Yeah.
the base story of that is two criminal brothers are trying to escape to Mexico, and they go on this just crime spree to get on their way to Mexico, and then they get there, and it's like, oh shit, this is not a better option. So, I guess it's how everybody interprets horror is different, and I think that's the best part of horror, because everybody has their own flavor to add to it, even though it'll still induce that same primal instinct that people have, is fear. So it's I guess enjoyable, but yet psychotic.
That's a wonderful take. I think that
Yeah.
you have some really great points there. And actually, your ex-husband said, not your ex-husband, but your ex-husband says, Chrono's right on the money. 90% of our decisions are emotional. Fear has been known to dictate our lives. And
Yes.
Gama says with Salma Hayek. The movie has Salma Hayek. And it's been quite some time since I've seen it. You want to see Danny DeVito's The Monster Danger? Batman.
DeVito
Batman
is a
Returns.
monster.
Batman Returns.
Yeah.
Hey, he plays the Penguin. That's right.
If we look just above where your ex-husband made his comment, Dodge this said came in for the camaraderie and left with a subscription.
Woo woo.
So wow, thank you, Dodge.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Thank you.
subscribing.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thank you.
I love our fans. They're so awesome.
Yes, we do.
And okay, I just want to point out one thing about Selma Hayek. Oh my fucking God, when that woman dances in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hit that, but yeah.
I absolutely
Yeah.
was gay for several minutes every time I watch it. Because
You know what we need to
Holy
have
shit.
more of? Is horror musicals.
horror musicals.
Like Sweeney Todd.
Oh
Sweeney
my
Todd.
God.
Sweeney
Yes.
Todd.
Like Sweeney Todd. Have you guys heard of the Devil's Carnival?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, and
Like-
Repo, the genetic opera.
Repo, yeah. Like
I
we-
love all
that,
three of
that
those.
I think it needs to bring itself, or even the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Granted, that wasn't
Oh,
necessarily
yes.
horror, but
Love the Rocky
I mean,
Horror
I want to do
Picture
the Time
Show.
Warp again.
Oh, yes, I would love to do the Time Warp.
I
Oh,
still
yeah.
have not ever seen that movie. I know I'm really in the huge minority when it comes to the horror community, but I have never seen that movie.
Okay, Chrono, go with me. Ready?
Oh my goodness.
I see you
Oh my
shiver
goodness.
with anticipation.
Anticipation. Mandy, I
Chrono
totally
did
agree
not
with you.
go with us. I'm sad.
No, Chrono didn't. The thing is, I think
Oh,
okay, Rocky Horror was awesome. It was like the first horror based with, well, actually, I don't know if Rocky Horror was before the original play of Sweeney Todd or not. But the difference between the two is camp. Rocky Horror
Mhm.
is very campy, and Sweeney
yeah.
Todd is obviously not. Repo the Genetic Opera is not campy. It can very easily get that way, but I think the directors and stuff were very careful not to let it slip all the way into camp.
Yeah.
And I think
That's a fine line.
it is a fine line. It
There
is,
can be, not
and-
always.
Yeah. The what was it? The circus. I lost the name of it. The other one that's had the same people from from Repo, the Carnival Circus of the Damned. Jesus, words. Even that one could have gone even more into the camp because of how some of the characters were portrayed. But it still kept that integrity to it. So I don't know.
Yeah.
They're awesome. I love those.
Well, and then it brings you back to like the Devil's Carnival. where it's kind of campy, but it plays on the aspect of being campy, and it's got a handful of artists in it. I mean, it's got Slipknot, the guy, clown from Slipknot.
Yep.
Craig, I can't remember
That's
his
the
name.
bassist, isn't
He's in it. No, he's just the guy with the bat that hits the trash cans and stuff.
Oh, that's right. I haven't
And he
watched
does the
any of that
backup
stuff in
vocals.
forever. That's cool though.
And then it's got one of the brothers from Patrick O'Flaherty. That's what it is.
Mhm.
He's in it. He plays one of the main characters. And it's just an amazing premise that they have on it because
It's got the sister from Spy Kids, who also plays one of the leads in Repo the Genetic Opera. She plays Shiloh, the daughter. In Repo.
I have a question for Chrono.
Ooh.
For you. What is your favorite subgenre of horror and why?
Good question.
Favorite subgenre? I'm a huge fan of movie monsters. Just give me a good practical effect of a movie monster or something. I mean, hands down, like, slasher, movie monster style movies are definitely my favorite. I mean, Freddy Krueger is still going to be by far my favorite movie monster of all time.
The first time I saw him, I thought it was actually supposed to be a comedy. I had no idea it was actually supposed to be a monster, and I was like...
Right? I just love how theatrical he gets.
Very
like,
animated and
just,
so much charisma.
If you think about it, that's what makes the character also very frightening, because he's psychotic. He's having fun with this.
Well, also, the other aspect that makes that whole concept frightening is the fact that he can, get you in your dreams. Everybody has nightmares and people wake up and they're afraid of them. But back when Nightmare on Elm Street came out, that just intensified. I would call it like a psychological horror as well, because people were probably afraid. I know I was for a while, because I didn't know if there was something going to be sucking me down into a bed, a hand coming up in the bathtub. And I'm like...
And that was before we were talking about, the night hags and sleep paralysis and stuff.
Right.
That wasn't part of the discussion of what was going on in the world.
Right, but
I really loved that the bed scene, and I also loved the scene when she's on the phone, and then it's like that rubber tongue is out of the
the mouth pops out.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
Oh God, don't do that.
Can you imagine instead of Freddy Krueger, it's Pennywise? Oh, what's the matter, Bucko?
Oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
We all float down here.
That's so cool.
We all float.
Whoa.
Hello, Georgie.
Oh yes, they float. They all float.
Well, I guess that brings
God.
my next point. Who played a better Pennywise, Tim Curry or Bill
Curry?
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Hands down,
think
Tim
so?
Curry.
But Chapter 2 was a piece of trash.
I'm going to say it's a 50-50 tie, because Tim Curry played Pennywise in a completely different way than Bill Skarsgård did. Bill Skarsgård played it off of more of a nightmarish feel to it, while Tim Curry
also paved the way for it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is almost a 30-year difference in the movie's releases.
Exactly.
But, Tim Curry also, just the way he did Pennywise, like you were saying about the second Pennywise, I honestly, and going back to Freddy Krueger too, remake Freddy Krueger, and I'm going to tell you the same thing, it will always be Robert Englund, because when you look at the two Pennywises, for the time that Tim Curry came out, that was, the time, but no, it will always be Tim Curry, and the way he portrayed Pennywise, to me, is more terrifying than the new one. I was sitting at the movie theater, sitting there watching this. People are screaming, and I'm laughing.
Oh my
Um,
God, Mandy.
you know, I guess I just went in with this attitude that, okay, so here's a remake, let's do this. And I'm just like, no, no, and no. I walked out of there very disappointed.
Well, I think it's also a generational thing. You got to think about
Right. Right. It
how
is.
movies are made today and then how they were made back then with more practical effects, and that it's not CGI'd movie monster. It looks like a physical monster.
Right.
So I think that kind of plays a lot into how people view horror movies nowadays, because hands down, the generation before us, they would still say that Bela Lugosi's Dracula is 10 times better than Jason Voorhees. So I mean, I think it's
I agree
more
with
so of a
them.
generational
Hands
thing.
down,
I agree
hands
with
down.
them.
Yeah. Well, it's
I
the
do
same
too.
thing with the Batman movies.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
I
The
think
Batman movies
Michael
are
Keaton-
redundant and silly now, though. They have a bunch of unnecessary just junk. Like
Yeah.
the Batman movies, like back then, there weren't a whole lot of other superhero movies other than Superman. You know, when Michael Keaton Batman came out, of course, it's him. Gosh, I'm having a moment here.
Christian Bale.
Tim
Michael
Burton,
Keaton,
thank you. My
Christian
goodness, thank you.
Well, you know what? It's the same thing with the Superman movies. Christopher Reeves,
Christopher Reeves
will
is the
always
Superman
be
to me.
Superman. I mean, even the actor himself was in his life like Superman.
Yeah, they say he
had
was a
that
very good person.
Clean cut. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a generational thing.
Him and Robin Williams were
those
roommates
were-
in college at one point, and they
He and who?
they were really good friends. Robin Williams.
Gary
I
Oldman
didn't
is Dracula
realize
for
that.
sure.
Yeah, Christopher Reeve and Robin Williams were really close friends, and they were college roommates. And I think when Christopher had his accident, I think Robin Williams was there. Like, he visited him after. I just know that they were amigos, and I think that's really cool.
I'm just
Yep,
reading
Christopher
the
Reeves.
chat real quick.
See if there's any questions for Chrono.
Well, we're talking about Gary Oldman as Dracula, and then Possessed Radio said he saw the original at 24, but I'm not sure which original movie he saw at 24.
The original.
Well,
It.
while you're looking at that, Chrono, I've got to ask you this.
Oh, yeah, okay. You're right.
If you could be any if you could be any fictional horror movie killer, who would it be, why, and who would your first victim be?
That's a tough one. Like, and now I'm playing on, do I want to be effective or do I want to have fun with it?
See, that's where the psychological comes in.
Yeah, like, do I want to be really good at what I'm doing or do I want to play with my food? So, you know what? You know who I'd pick? And this is going to throw everybody off for the wall, but I would rather pick the lady that finds the author in Misery. I'll be her.
Yeah, that's horrifying. That's a great movie.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'd rather pick her because she's a real person, and
Okay.
instead of
Good
breaking the
choice.
dude's ankles, I probably would have just chopped his legs off. But
Kathy
my
Bates
first victim,
deserves a lot more recognition than she's gotten.
oh
She's
yeah,
one hell of an actress.
my first victim, just to play on the same world as Misery, will be. Now I don't know if you guys know him, but it will be. Well, now I got a tie. I'm thinking either between Stephen King, Dean Koontz, or I'm gonna gotta play with off the authors.
Clive
Actually, you know what?
Barker.
I'm gonna pick Stephen King so he could die by the hands of his own creation. Poetic justice.
Good choice.
You know, that is a really good choice because nobody else has ever rationalized it like you just did. That
No,
is excellent.
that,
did
that
say
was
psychotic.
excellent.
Okay, so now we get into the FUD questions. What is your go-to movie snack?
Oh, Reese's Pieces.
Reese's. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
I know a question that that I usually ask that we haven't is when you're getting ready to narrate or write, do you have a specific preparation that you go through? Do you have specific do you get a cup of tea, or do you have like a ritual that you go through before you do either one?
No. I think it's just more so of a, ooh, this idea popped into my head. I'm just gonna go write some stuff down real quick.
Oh, okay.
I don't have like a preparation ritual per se. I guess cussing at myself to get off your ass and get it done. That's probably as close as I get to it.
Okay. That works.
So
Very seat of the pants.
So,
Basically.
Chrono, you're on death row. You're gonna die. What's your last meal?
People.
People?
Yep, because they won't be able to deliver on that. So I'll be forever on death row.
I don't think at that point they're gonna deliver. I think it's gonna be like, okay, he chose not to eat.
Right.
Well, that's a weird way to give up your last meal rights, but all right.
Right.
Um,
Mine
That's
would be
funny, nobody else
tacos
has
and
said that one
enchiladas.
either.
I think,
No one
Honest-
has.
to be honest, I think I would just want a single red Skittle.
Really?
Just
Wow.
one.
Why?
Just think
Why?
about it. All of the well-known, serial killers, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer,
Oh,
Ted Bundy,
yes.
they all had their
Yeah.
signature last meal and the last words they said. I would eat that and then make myself choke on it, so then they couldn't get the satisfaction of giving me the chair.
I wonder if they would do resuscitation just so they could go ahead and kill you.
I would say they watch people. I would believe that they watch people pretty closely, because there was this gnarly story of I don't remember exactly what it was, but essentially this guy was supposed to be hung, right? And he knew he was scheduled to be hung, so I don't remember how, but he used something and he cut his own throat. They stitched his throat back together quickly so that way they could still proceed with the hanging.
Wow.
Oh my
No, you
god.
can't die
Yeah,
here.
that's a real thing. Yeah.
Like, you can't die unless we say you can.
Yeah, he was
my.
scheduled later the next day or later that day. It was a X amount of hours before the it was supposed to take place. That's when that happened. They rushed him and stitched him back together really quick so that way they could proceed, and they did.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty brutal.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
That sucks, but you know what? Actually, it is believable, because the state will be given their due, or the government, the state, however you want to look at it, is they will get what they are due, one way or the other.
Yeah, and things might have changed. That was probably some time ago, because it was a hanging. We don't really do that anymore.
So in the horror genre, Chrono, if you could narrate with anyone from the horror genre, who would it be and why?
If I could narrate with anybody,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say Scott Sigler.
There you go. Good choice.
I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with his work with the Infected trilogy or any of that, but he's released all of his own stories for free as a episodic podcast that he has narrated all the characters himself, and the way he inflicts the characters' voices just always been intriguing to me. So he'd be a fun one, I think, to work with.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him. I'll admit.
I would highly recommend checking out some of his books.
Definitely. I'm not yawning. Oh, I'm not yawning.
Stop doing that.
That's a good choice, though.
Yeah. goodness.
Or Filia. Anyone in chat have a question for Chrono?
Yeah.
Is there something you're just
do we have a little
dying to know?
interaction?
Questions.
Who has the questions? Oh, and Christine Baker said Jeffrey Dahmer didn't have a last meal. Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know
Gathering
that
of
either.
I'm
Crows.
sure
here's
he
some
asked for
KFC.
people.
He probably. That's probably why he didn't get anything.
Patience said she thinks that there was a guy that tried to order something he was allergic to in order to kill himself. I don't know, but I wouldn't be
Sorry,
surprised if somebody's tried
Raven.
that.
I didn't mean to yawn.
Peanut allergies. Gotcha.
I don't know, I could be wrong, but that sounds like that would just be like slow, painful, and awful. It sounds like you'd be miserable the whole time.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Then you would want it. Then you would want it to be quick after.
So here's a new
pretty much
question.
Any of
Go
that's
ahead,
gonna
sis.
suck. Okay, so possessed. Oh, he was beaten to death. He didn't get executed. You're right, possessed radio.
Oh,
Jeffrey Dahmer did not get executed.
Well, he had a last
was
meal then, and
beaten to death.
it just wasn't requested. It was unanticipated.
It was
Yeah, it was
bread
just
and mashed
whatever
potatoes,
the-
probably.
Probably, or
Yeah.
goop.
the goop.
Ooh. Yeah.
Gray stuff.
Your ex-husband asks, where do you see yourself in 5 years, Chrono?
Good question.
Producing and directing full feature films.
Oh, that's cool.
Quite honestly, I want to. That's where I feel I belong the most, is in the movie scene. Granted, I'll still be doing my YouTube channels and updating all of you guys with everything I'm doing and giving you sneak peeks, behind the scenes stuff of that you would normally get in DVDs and everything. But I really want to work in films. I would love to work with Tom Savini someday. I would love to work with Harrison Smith, Kane Hodder, Bill Moseley, and the works. And I think that's more where I want to be.
Those are all great guys. Great
They
choices.
are.
Yeah.
Good choices, good goals.
A Gathering of Crows would like to know, what's the favorite story you've worked on so far?
I'm obviously going to say it's my own story, the house that Jack built. Shameless plug here, but
Right.
Do
the direction I have for the story, it's gonna extremely be unsuspected or unexpected, and I think if my writing prowess continues, I would love to never have that story actually end, but have it build onto multiple different things as well.
Ooh.
And that's why each story I'm doing, there's little details getting added, little bits of every character getting added, because I don't want it to be some 45-minute to an hour radio drama. I want it to be 15-minute to 30 minutes episodes, basically. So it's going to
And drawing
be
back from past.
exactly. I think
Okay.
it's going to. I don't want to spoil too much, because now you guys are getting me all excited to say stuff, and that I don't want to ruin it.
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
Let's just
Well, you
say
just
that if you've
write more.
watched episode 1, Sam is pretty close at describing what's going on. Oh, and AsTheRavenDreams does a really good stutter.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move
Okay.
off of this
Let's look forward to
subject.
that. Azazel
we do.
Codex wants to know if there's anybody you haven't had a chance to collaborate with that you've always wanted to.
Good
That I
question,
haven't had a
Antonio.
chance to collab with. I think Mr. CreepyPasta would be fun to collab with.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to say, because I've already got to collab with most of my favorite people. So it's I guess I'm kind of grasping at straws here, but yeah, I think it would have to be either Mr. CreepyPasta or Mr. Creeps.
Cool.
Good choices.
I have discovered that through doing some collaborations on Doc Creepin's channel, that they have fiercely loyal fans, the really big guys, and the fans are rabid. Like, they don't want to hear anybody else's voice, and they will quite often go after the people that are collaborating with their favorite person. It's like, why are you doing this? You don't need anybody else, you know. And
sometimes people suck.
Right, but I think it would
that's the world we live in.
I know. But I think it would be very disheartening to finally get to work with, you know, someone like that, your favorite person, and then to be just shot down like that. You know?
I mean, yeah, but I guess it's up to the person you're collaborating with to kind of put a foot down and say, hey, look, I also wanted this. You either enjoy it together or don't enjoy my content at all.
I agree. That's kind of how I see it too. I mean, the bigger your fan base goes, the more negative and naysayers you're going to have, no matter what you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The more responsibility you're also going to have with, hey,
True.
This is a fair area, fair place for everyone to be, and everybody's more than welcome to share their 2 pieces, but you don't need to be negative about everything or hate somebody because you didn't like the way they said a word. You know?
And if you do, just keep it to yourself. You know, what compels one to go out of their way to say it just
or
because,
at
you know,
least disguise it as constructive criticism. To be like, hey, you narrated very well. I think a couple words you probably could have changed in there or said differently, but overall the performance was fantastic. Like, there's multiple ways to say it. You can't just say, nah, you suck at words. Like, it's
right.
Hate it, make your own channel.
Basically.
PA Nightmare finally showed up.
Welcome,
Hi,
finally.
Speaking of negative
You're late,
words,
bud.
But here.
Right.
And that's all.
Hello, PA.
Disguising things as constructive criticism.
I mean,
Right.
I say be genuine with what you say, but if you don't have anything, you know, constructive to say, don't say anything at all.
Exactly.
Because some people can spot phonies and phony comments when people say, like, you know, but, and it's, you know, sometimes it's not even, it's a complete non-issue. It's like, okay, then just don't say anything. But we know people will be people. That's just the way it is.
Well, and you know, to add on to that, not intending to prolong this, but to add on to that, I have seen people that were trying to give very honest, constructive criticism, and the person turned back around. And this was actually with a smaller narrator, and they're like, "I didn't ask for your opinion."
Yeah, and there's those narrators too. They're the same as the fans. You know, some can be
they're like
very unprofessional in their way.
You've only got X amount of, you know, subscribers. Who the hell are you to tell me how to do something? And I didn't ask for your opinion anyways. And it's like, why can't you just say thank you?
Yeah, that kind of behavior is you know, that's kind of condemned around the horror community as well.
Yeah. It's like when you get that gift from your grandmother at Christmas. Thanks, Grandma.
You get a video game that was like, that's a horrible and for the wrong console from your grandparent, and you just say thank you.
Exactly.
Right.
You just say thank you, and yeah, I don't know. But sorry, didn't mean to, kind of got off on a weird one on that one, didn't we?
Yeah,
we have about 12 minutes left, so one other question I would like to ask Chrono. What is the one good piece of advice that you would give a new and upcoming narrator or somebody who is thinking about becoming a narrator that would help them along on their journey?
do what you love. I mean, if there's a certain type of story that clings to you the most, do it. I mean, obviously it's somebody else's work, ask permission, but I mean, don't let anybody else in the community say otherwise that's you shouldn't read their story because of XXX. If you truly love the story, do it. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's you. You're creating something. So do what you love. Do what you want to do with your channel. I mean, I tried my own slew at video games, or what was it, the spicy recordings I tried. And that was fun, but it really wasn't in my wheelhouse for what I was actually wanting to do. So I still have those videos up, but I wouldn't expect any other things to those.
Good response.
I hope that's a good answer. I hope I didn't sound too much like an asshole there.
No, it was very good answer. And I would say my advice, and I say this every show, is always get permission and always remember to give the person whose content you are using proper credit in your videos and description. Very important. Number one rule of becoming a narrator, because if you don't, and if you happen to find a narrator that you see doesn't share links, just reach out to them in DMs. Don't do it publicly.
Or however you can.
Or how, yeah.
I have one kind of obscure writer that I ended up having to go through email on an old channel of like website of his, and he's like, oh yeah, absolutely, you can do this. And story's like 12 years old. You know, and I reached him through email. So don't be afraid to search a little bit. If you can't find, you know, at first, if you can't find it, look for it. It will be worth it.
Because otherwise not doing it. And also remember, there are going to be a lot of people that are, you know, the horror community lifts you up. There's a lot of support. We give a lot of critique. If you cannot take critique, then this isn't the thing. You don't need to be a narrator. But not properly sharing links and giving credit where credit is due will get you blacklisted in the horror community. So just remember,
it will.
You know, just be aware of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just us. There's crazed people out there that like. There's a group on Reddit that like searches out people that don't give credit.
There
it's
is
some kind of black ops group. I don't even know who they are, but
everybody just be considerate.
Right.
It's crazy.
Exactly. It is.
Does anybody know what that group is called?
No idea.
But you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's who it is. The Watchdogs.
Sleepless Watchdogs. Sleepless Watchdogs. Yeah.
They're real and they're out there. Someone
real,
needs to write a horror story about them.
I mean, a lot of narrators do stories they find, but also, you know, write some of your own stories too. You know, it's nice to have your own anecdotes and your own takes and thoughts and obscure horror opinions from time to time. At least that's what I like anyway.
Yeah.
Same. So let's see. Should we go ahead and do another question and then our final thoughts? And
sure.
Yes. Anybody in the chat questions? I agree.
Gathering Crow says he's got an author that he's being to track down. He's been trying to track down since he started. Oh, wow, that's a long time.
Welcome,
that's a long time. Mascano.
Hey, buddy. Mascano.
He's someone else that we would like to have on for an interview. DM one of us.
Yeah.
Thanks. Love you, bud.
You just left him a phone message.
I was about to say, like, that sounded like something you'd say here in the 90s after calling
Leave
Colette.
a message after the beep.
Right? That is exactly what she just said. She left him a phone message.
You guys remember coming home and checking
At least
your
it was a
voicemails?
proper one.
It was. I do remember coming home and running to look to see if the light was blinking.
No.
Your like big clunky answer machine on the table with like the fake wood grain on it, because everything was nice when it had fake wood grain, right? It has the
Right.
blinking light, and you press it, and you have to sit there and wait for it to go through all the things that it's like, oh, I forgot to call this person. It's like, oh, I've got to call this, and it's like, how did people sleep back then? But then again, you know, there weren't cell phones to keep people awake. There weren't overstimulating of electronics everywhere as much.
Right.
So,
It's
you know,
always
Some channels
Exactly.
actually went off the air at night.
yeah, you'd have to watch
TV channels.
terrible infomercials, and when you'd want to watch any show at night, they'd have an infomercial saying like all these medical conditions, and it's like, for God's sakes, no, I don't have any of these things. I just want to freaking watch TV. I just want to watch
always
my
great.
show. Like, are
great
you
having
having?
you here, Moschino. So, Filia, another question for Chrono, or Chrono, do you have a question for any of us?
Mary,
you guys
Ann,
were-
or Ginger.
What?
Oh, never mind.
Mary Ann or Ginger from Gilligan's Island?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with the skipper.
Okay, now I'm
That's
worried
the
about
answer.
you. So
That's
you're kind of
fantastic.
like bears then?
The skipper kind of reminds me of Patrick Star from SpongeBob.
Yes.
Actually, I have
Okay,
one
Chrono
more.
likes bears.
Yeah. Art, you have another question for Chrono?
I think I did have one, but honestly, it slipped my mind, and that's quite all right. I think he had a question, though.
I
All
do,
right.
for all of you.
Uh-huh.
If there was one specific part that you would want it to play in a story, what part would you choose and why?
Oh. What kind of
You're
story?
right. Any type of story, but you're writing your own part in the story. Who would you want to be and why?
That's a hard question because, at least for me, it really depends on the movie, and it depends on like the tone of the movie and what kind of genre it is. Because, like, I could see myself wanting to play some like crazy, you know, like goofy person, but I could also see myself wanting to play the villain, you know, a serious villain. It just depends on the movie and like the context and the genre. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, a villain would be fun. I mean, not all the time, but many times I feel like people that play villains have a different sense of acting, or sometimes they're just better at acting. Some, you know, a lot of times when in certain movies they kind of overshadow the hero characters, and the skill really shines in the villain characters. Not always, of course, but sometimes. And I'm not saying I'd only play a villain. I just have an appreciation for the actors who do so.
Okay.
I kind of have two. I would either like to be the second to the last victim, the one that everybody's like, yes, they're gonna make it, and then like, oh damn, I really thought they were gonna survive, or I want to be the final girl.
Okay.
Yeah, either the second to the last victim or the final victim, or the one that survives.
This is tough. I'm gonna go with Filia. I want to be the final girl. I want to be the one that's in that horror movie, going, you know, where everybody's freaking out, don't know, you know, what they're doing or what to do, and then it's like, this is what we got to do. I guess, you know, this is what we got to do. You go get the wood, you get the nails, you know, and let's get this done.
Very Night of the Living Dead 1990 of you.
Yeah.
I guess like just snap everybody out of the stupid and here, let's get our lives saved instead of standing there like, huh?
That's very 1990 Dawn of the Night of the Living Dead. I love that part of that. I love that about the remake. They did that right, what the original did wrong, and I love the original. But I'm not gonna lie, the ending of the original Night of the Living Dead is horrendous. It's a joke.
It is. It is. And by today's standards, would never mind. So let's go ahead and do our final thoughts. And then we'll say goodbye. Good evening to everyone. So, sis, take her away.
Oh, me. Okay. I didn't expect that one. Okay, well, ChronoPasta, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. It's been really fun and very informative. Very informative. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much for being here with us. And Art, thank you so much. Love having you here with us.
Yeah,
and
thank you
Raven,
for having me on.
You're so awesome behind the scenes. And Patience, thank you for letting us have him again. Sis, thank you for being here with me. My sister from another mister. And okay, that's all the weirdness I got. Well, that's not all the weirdness I got, but I think that's enough for you guys for tonight.
We're gonna have Chrono go ahead and send the show out, and the only thing I'm gonna say is thank you to everybody. Much love to Patience and Raven. Sis, love you. Art, thank you. Chrono, thank you. And until next Sunday, remember, stay frightened. But Chrono, go ahead and take us out. Close the show.
Thank you all for coming. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit like, comment, share, do what you wonderful people do, and tune in next Sunday to the next show. Thank you all for having me. I had a blast, and hopefully I wasn't too annoying.
No,
you guys have a good night.
No,
you're not annoying at all. Very good guest.
Well, I could really try harder next time.
Okay, we'll hold you to that.
Wonderful evening, everybody.